What is up, guys? Welcome back to another truck talk after an early morning gym session. Before we jump into the video, I pretty much made this essentially like a non-negotiable for my channel, and that's to like welcome anyone that might be new to the channel, because you have no idea who I am. You have no idea if you should, invest the time that it's going to take to watch this video and if it's worth it. So a little bit about me. I'm a Christian. My entire goal with making content is to document the things I'm doing to level up my life, because I used to be a very lost person. It's probably the easiest way to summarize that was incredibly anxious, had a lot of dreams, but was a massive procrastinator. I wasted my days away playing video games, and I've essentially did a 180 in my life and went from living what I call my anti-life, or just kind of existing, to living a life of purpose. And so I used to work a corporate job, which I worked my way up to without a college education, just through work ethic and trying to be the best person I could be. Worked my way up to a six-figure salary and decided to quit all that to pursue my passion of fitness and helping people level up. So if you are into discipline, mindset, routine, maybe you're a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, someone who dreams about building a business and escaping the rat race, then you will 1000% resonate with my content. I also want to say, I don't really have a script for these videos. I kind of have some bullet points, but I don't have an upload schedule. I kind of aim for, one video a week, but it all depends on if I have something I want to say. This is a creative outlet to me. The Average to Jack channel, which I mentioned, that's more of a business outlet. Or maybe I didn't mention that. Maybe I mentioned it whenever I restarted this video because I messed up. So this is the second take. But if you guys didn't know, I have a second YouTube channel. It's Average to Jacked, and it's basically all fitness focused because I'm an online fitness coach. That's what I do as a profession. But on this channel, it is essentially a creative outlet to me. I love doing the cinematics. I invested in a pretty nice camera to where I can shoot what I feel looks kind of like movie quality. And so I mix all of that into kind of a story for the video. And today's topic is just going to be on making today better than yesterday. And the main theme of my channel, like I mentioned, is discipline, mindset, and routine, because those are all of the things that I've done. So I try to only talk about the things that I've done and tell stories about how I've managed to do those things and, leave that corporate job through waking up extremely early, which I'm not going to get too deep into that. You guys can go back through all of my videos because, like I said, it's the main theme. But today's topic is going to be on making today better than yesterday. And like I said, I've taken a couple notes because I want to kind of flow with this. I don't want to get super rambly, but with these truck talks, I just kind of say what's on my brain and what I feel like God is channeling me and the light that he's put inside of me to share with you guys. Because I know a lot of you out there that are watching are like me, and are in a similar position that I was in, where you wake up every day and you feel lost. You want to have this purpose, you want to have this drive, you want to have these goals you're getting after, but for whatever reason, you can't face that resistance. You can't face yourself. You set these goals and then you do the opposite. You set a diet and then you fall off of it. You say you're going to start the 75 hard challenge and then you do it for 2 days and you stop. You say you're going to start a business and you stop. If you can learn to, what they call, face the resistance, master the resistance, that's essentially what I did. That's how I changed my life, was realizing that all of those years I procrastinated, all I was struggling to do was just look that resistance in the face, look that fear in the face, and then just fight back. So it's easier, said than done. But that's what it comes down to. When we're thinking about making today better than yesterday, it comes down to our daily actions, right? So I want you guys to think about me, think about yourself. At the end of the day, both of us, we get 24 hours in a day. The person that's successful, that's driving, your dream car, or having your dream job, or having, your dream body, they have the same amount of time as you. And I'm a firm believer, and really ever since I've, been a kid, I've always thought that I can do, I don't know if God put that mindset in me. I've always had that confidence of, if I just dedicate myself to something, if I just put in the time, I know that I can become successful. And I'm going to drink some water real quick, guys, because my mouth is extremely dry from that workout. I'll probably not edit this out. And so the reason I'm kind of talking about the 24 hours in a day and all of us getting the same amount of time is because you have to realize if we all get the same amount of time, then it comes down to what we do with that time. And so when I was a kid and, all growing up, when I started all these businesses and things, it would always be a couple years that would pass that I would look back and be like, dude, if I would have just stuck with that, like, where would I be at now if I would have done the daily, actions? So it could have been playing guitar. Like, I've start and stop guitar probably more times than I can count. And then I look up 4 years later and I'm like, what if I would have just stuck with playing guitar every day? Same with tournament paintball. So I played on a team and we were winning first place in a lot of tournaments. And I did that for a couple of years, and then I stopped and I was like, I love paintball. Some of you guys might have not ever played before. I highly recommend it, especially for the team aspect and, the friendship aspect and getting to travel around. It's very intense, kind of like an extreme sport. But I'm like, what if I would have just stuck with that? Like, could I be pro now? What if I would have stuck with skateboarding? When I grew up, in my early teens, me and all my buddies, we were out like downtown Nashville. We'd be out with like 10 of us, like street skating, doing all this crazy stuff. But what I'm kind of trying to paint here, like the vision I'm trying to share with you guys is there are so many things that you've probably done that you've stopped, and you might have that same thought of like, dude, what if I would have just stuck with it? And that is kind of how this YouTube stuff started to work for me is, when I started out, there were several other people that I followed that kind of had the same subscriber count. And over the years, I was still subscribed to them, and I would look at their content and I'm like, holy crap, this dude has 100,000 subscribers now, 300,000, 500,000. And we started essentially at the same time. And I'm like, what's different? What's different is what they did every single day. They faced the resistance. They showed up and they did what they were supposed to do. So the whole theme of this video is make today better than yesterday. And so going back to my notes, I put, if we all get the same amount of hours in a day, then success and whatever that means to you must come down to our daily actions, right? Think about your day now. You have no actions, you have no plans and no actions. So if you look at your day right now, like as you're watching this video, did you wake up this morning and fill out a checklist? Do you have, 6 a.m. I'm doing this, 7 a.m. I'm doing this, 8 p.m. I'm in bed? Do you have a plan laid out? Because if you don't have a plan, you don't have a way to make today better than yesterday, then you are going to stay in stagnation. You're going to stay exactly where you're at. The only way that you're going to finally change is when you face that resistance and then you follow this structured plan. You have to have a plan. That, like, people ask me, Eric, like, how'd you change your life? Like, how'd you stop becoming a procrastinator? It's like, I created myself a blueprint. I created myself a GPS that I follow every single day. And I'm not perfect at this by any means, guys, but like there are some non-negotiables that I talk about, frequently on this channel. And one of them is writing your goals every single morning, because when you write your goals down, it realigns you with your vision. No matter if you're in a depressed mood, no matter if you're in an angry mood, no matter what's going on in your life, if you don't have your vision top of mind or you don't write your goals down, it's so easy to get swayed back to your old self. Like, you have to force change. The facing the resistance thing isn't just like, oh, you're going to do it one time and you're good. It's like, it's a daily battle, but you'll do these things so much that they become automatic. So for me, I used to struggle waking up at 4 a.m., going to the gym early, doing all this, like grinding before work and whatnot. And now I look up almost a year later and it's like automatic to me. And so one thing that I've been really focusing on lately is making today better than yesterday. So what does that mean? I'll give you a couple like super small examples. I just moved into this house a few months back, and essentially, I'm in the middle of building a business. I was working a corporate job. My fiance was working a lot of hours. We just kind of stuffed, just a lot of stuff in our garage, in our shed. All of my workout equipment from my home gym, that was all kind of outside under like the lean-to. And, I live in Florida and it's real humid. So I've been procrastinating on getting that garage cleaned up. Like, I'll open the door to it and it just looks like a bomb went off. And so part of making today better than yesterday was, I created my checklist and I'm like, what are all the things that are in my brain? And Jordan Peterson talks about this, but what are the things that are announcing themselves to you that need repair, that are causing chaos, that are taken up this space in your brain and like write those down and what are the ones you would actually do. And so it took a long time because once again, I'm trying to build a business. I'm doing all these other things and making these excuses, but I'm like, this is causing chaos. Like when you live in a funk and a mess and maybe your desk is all messy, your room is all messy, my garage was all messy, like it does something to your brain that I can't explain versus being an organized and clean person. Because most of the time when you're an organized person on the outside, the inside, you're very organized in, your headspace, way less anxious, way less, like you're just structured. And so the reason I tell that, garage example is because it took about 4 or 5 hours, like months and months of procrastinating, months and months of just stepping over things in there, workout equipment sitting outside, rusting, like stuff that was, expensive that I should have been taken care of, that I'm taking for granted. I finally just looked the resistance in the face and said, hey, I'm going to set out a block of time to do this. And I did it. And then the thing is, whenever you put your head down on your pillow at night, when you get in bed and you see your checklist and you just see like marks going through all of your to-do list, you get this sense of like reward because we're driven creatures. Like as humans, we seek to accomplish things. We seek to have a mission. So if you guys are lost in life and you don't know what to do in your life and you don't know your ultimate purpose or your dream job or all these things, start looking around your life and fix the things that are in your brain. So if it's a dirty room, it's a dirty truck, it's a just whatever it is, even if it's small, when you do those things, you build the confidence that you can then take that and do these next things. So like for me, it started out like I just need to wake up at 4 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. before I go to my job and work on content and go to the gym. I didn't think about like, all this deep stuff on content and how I was going to make my channel grow. I was like, no, I just need to do these things and it'll come naturally. Because as you set your mind on a target, your subconscious, whatever, it sounds like mystical and woo-woo and what, but I'm not trying to make it sound like that. But I'm telling you guys, when you set an objective and a target, you will start seeing opportunities in your life that like open up to you. It's like, Jesus says, knock and the door shall be open to you. So when you pray and you knock for guidance and you knock and you set your vision, you'll just be like driving and you'll have a thought that pops in your head and you're like, oh, well, that's what I can apply to my business to make it work. Or you'll meet somebody that, you needed to meet in order for that opportunity to happen. Once again, it sounds mystical and woo-woo, but I'm telling you guys, set the target, set the objective, and then just focus. Now I'm losing my train of thought, but I told you guys about kind of the garage and just like putting your head down at night, knowing you accomplished something. When you do these small things, especially when you're a really chaotic and lost person and you're trying to rebuild your life or you're just in a really dark spot, start with the baby steps. Like there's the Chinese proverb that's like, 1,000 miles starts with a single step or something like that. Everything we do starts with a single step. I was listening to Slight Edge again, the audio book. I've recommended that on the channel before, but I was listening to that book yesterday and he talked about, pennies, like stacking pennies and then the compounding interest. It's like, what is that stacking pennies or saving a penny a day? What is that for you? So what could you do every single day that looks like a small step, but over the next year, it's like 1,000 miles. Most of the time it's starting with the things that are announcing themselves as a need of repair. You do those things and then you will build the confidence that you can take and do the hard things in other aspects of your life. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit rambly and I just want to make sure with these videos that I come with a topic and then I hammer that in so then you guys can take these tools in your life and apply them no matter who's watching, male, female, whatever. Maybe you're 18, maybe you're 67. Like I am just sharing once again the light that God has put in me to share, and I turn on the camera when I feel that on my heart to make videos. So I'll also put in these notes that it is just about the small decisions and the daily actions. Like if there's one takeaway you guys get from my channel, it's like the daily actions. If you can break your day down into all I have is today, this morning was a new life. All I have to do is focus on stacking the actions and doing those consistently. So you might go to the gym, you hit a workout, you go home, you look no different. You might do that for 3 months and nothing. Then all of a sudden you do 4 months of consistency, 4 months on a good diet, and you take your shirt off and you're going to get in the shower and you happen to glance at yourself and you're like, oh, I can kind of see some definition. I can kind of see some, it's like, it wasn't that first workout. It was the conglomerate of workouts. And so for me, it wasn't waking up early and doing some deep work before I went into my job to build this YouTube channel and build my other business. It was multiple weeks, multiple months of showing up consistently every day. And then that compounds because you get better at doing it. It's like, I made a lot of my videos private, but if you guys would go back and watch some of my early content, it was very cringy. It was very, like, I was watching it back and I'm like, that doesn't sound like me. That, like, I'm not channeling my actual self, and I'm still working on it now. But once again, when you stick to something, when you do it every single day, you get better at it. And so it's all about the daily actions. And then I'll also put in here, but if you have no plan, why would you take the actions? Your body will pick the path of least resistance, and that's why you open up your phone and then look up and then an hour has blown by. So when I'm like maybe on walks or I'm like cleaning the house or whatever, and I think of these things, maybe I'm listening to an audiobook, I'll put some notes in here. So if I'm reading it back and it doesn't make sense, that's why. But essentially what I'm meaning here is, like, if you woke up today, if you're watching this video and you don't have a plan for your day, the next thing you know, you're opening up TikTok and you've done blown 2 hours by just scrolling, or you're watching multiple YouTube videos, or you're watching reels or whatever. It's okay to consume content if you're consuming with a purpose, but I wouldn't say to just open up the social media apps and let the algorithm feed you whatever it wants to feed you, because then that skews your dopamine, that skews your energy, that skews a lot of things and a lot of the tools that you're going to need to then go apply to have that motivation and drive. And so once again, for me, it came down to the daily actions. The second thing was starving myself from instant gratification. So I stopped consuming YouTube content. I stopped consuming like brain rot content, Instagram reels, all of those things I was wasting my time on. I stopped consuming really sugary food and processed food, and I built back my natural source of motivation. And that's the amazing thing, is when you pull yourself away from the instant gratification, you start to crave doing stuff like this. Like, recording these videos is fulfillment for me. It is a fun thing for me to do because I'm not wasting my energy on all these other kind of low-hanging fruit things that provide no value in my life or add no value in my life. So when you do the micro wins, you get the dopamine, and it gives you tangible proof that change is possible. So win the day, win every single day, show up and give it your best. Be a light in the world that's full of darkness. That's all I have for this video. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Talk to you on the next one. Peace.